Here is an absolute value equation to solve. Our variable is located inside the absolute values. The first step in solving is to isolate the absolute value, which means we're going to need to move this 4 to the other side of the equation. And since that 4 was added, we will need to subtract it. So we'll get 2 minus x in absolute values equals 2 on the other side when we take 6 minus 4. Okay, now what we're after are quantities that when we take their absolute value, the answer is 2. There are two numbers that happens at, 2 and negative 2. So whatever's inside my absolute value, which in this case is 2 minus x, has to either equal 2 or it has to equal negative 2. Got two different equations to solve. With this one, because it's a negative x, I'm going to add my x to the other side of the equation. I like to have positive variables. You don't have to, but I prefer to have positive variables. And so I get down to 2 equals 2 plus x. And when I subtract the 2 from both sides, I end up with x equals 0. There's one of my solutions. For the other solution, let me just go through and show you what would happen if instead I decided to keep the x on this side. So subtract off the 2, you've got to make sure to keep a negative x equaling, we have a negative 2 here, and we subtract another 2, that will be negative 4. It's not quite solved yet because I need just plain old x on this side, and right now I have a negative x. So to get rid of the negative, I can divide both sides by a negative 1. Negative over a negative, that cancels, I'm left with x equals negative 4 over negative 1 is a positive 4. So my other solution is positive 4. I could have solved this equation similar to how I did this other equation by first moving the x to the right side to make it positive, and that would have eliminated me having to divide by a negative 1. So I was just trying to show you the two different ways and why I prefer to make the variable positive, so I don't have to worry about dividing by a negative.